Let's jump right into this explainer because our ocean, it's basically an alien world right here on Earth. It's this massive, perfectly preserved time capsule holding some truly mind-bending biological secrets and ancient relics we are just beginning to uncover. So let's dive in.
We're plunging straight down into the abyss of the Mariana Trench, 36,000 feet down, to be exact. Down here, the pressure is over 1,000 times what we feel on the surface. To put that into perspective, that's equivalent to holding up about 50 jumbo jets, all in pitch black, freezing water.
So you have to ask yourself, how does anything actually survive down here in this crushing darkness without the sun? For a long time, it was thought to be entirely impossible. But as you'll see, recent expeditions have set up a truly alien biology that proved us incredibly wrong.
The secret to life in the dark is chemosynthesis. Down in the trench, you've got these completely exotic life forms, like 6-foot giant tube worms. They don't need a drop of sunlight. Instead, they thrive by feeding directly on toxic chemicals leaking straight out of the ocean floor. Now contrast your typical fragile surface fish with the Mariana snailfish. If you brought a surface dweller down here, it would be instantly crushed. But this translucent little predator survives at 27,000 feet because it's adapted an incredibly unique, fluid-like cellular structure. It's basically so floppy that the water simply can't compress it.
Okay, but you want to know what's even wilder? Something called dark oxygen. Researchers found these polymetallic nodules on the seafloor that actually act like tiny batteries. They produce this dark oxygen without any sunlight at all. It's an absolute game changer. Section 1. Natural wonders or lost cities. Let's transition from deep-sea biology to mysterious formations that blur the line between nature and human creation. Off the coast of Japan sits the Yonaguni Monument. Discovered in 1986, this massive 25-meter-tall structure is made of shale and sandstone, featuring sheer walls and giant terraced steps. And it has sparked intense debate over its origins. Researcher Masaaki Kimura claims it's the remnants of a 10,000-year-old lost continent. On the flip side, geologist Robert Schoch argues it's completely natural geology, pointing out that tectonic fracturing and strong currents created those geometric shapes. Moving over to the Bahamas, we find the Bimini Road. Discovered back in 1968, sitting in just 18 feet of water, this is a half-mile linear stretch of rectangular limestone blocks that looks exactly like a submerged pavement. So, what's the verdict? Well, some divers and psychics like Edgar Cayce believe it's an ancient man-made road. But the scientific consensus points to the natural erosion of native beach rock, which fractured into uniform shapes and got rounded out by continuous ocean forces over time. Then there's the Baltic Sea anomaly, sitting 90 meters down. It's deeply mysterious because this structure is known to cause electromagnetic interference. It actually shuts down divers' electronics when they approach and pushes sediments in and out as if it were breathing. Crazy, right? Section 2. Shipwrecks and sunken relics. Let's ascend slightly to look at verified human history. 40. That's the astonishing number of ancient Byzantine, Ottoman, and Venetian ships recently discovered rusting all together at the bottom of the Black Sea. The reason they're so perfectly preserved is thanks to the ocean's unique chemistry, specifically the anoxic zone. A dense layer of salt water traps fresh water above it, creating a microbe-free, oxygen-less dead zone. It preserves these 13th century vessels completely, right down to their original chisel marks. Sometimes, though, the ocean hides advanced technology. Back in 1900, Greek sponge divers pulled this corroded lump of bronze and wood out of a shipwreck, found in 45 meters of water. It was the Antikythera mechanism. In 1902, archaeologist Valerio Staes identified an embedded gear wheel inside it. It turned out to be an ancient analog computer, so deeply complex that it was originally thought to be from a completely different era. Really, the ocean floor is a vast timeline of our lost artifacts scattered across the globe. We have human history trapped underwater, spanning from 10,000-year-old structures to medieval ships, all the way up to modern space relics. Let's look at the oldest one on that list, the Blinker Wall in the Baltic Sea. Predating Stonehenge, this mile-and-a-half-long stone structure was placed over 10,000 years ago. It was likely used by ancient humans as a massive reindeer hunting tool, back when the area was still dry land. At the other extreme of our timeline, we have deep-sea space relics. We're talking about the modern era, where an expedition led by Jeff Bezos actually recovered the mighty F-1 engines of the Apollo missions from over 14,000 feet deep in the Atlantic Ocean.
Section 3. The Unmapped Frontier.
Here is a wild fact to remind you just how alien our own planet is. 80% of our ocean floor remains completely unmapped. We actually have better, more detailed maps of the surface of Mars than we do of our own ocean floor. And what we have managed to map reveals massive geographical anomalies. Take the Indian Ocean gravity hole. It's a stark reminder that the Earth is lumpy and full of dense spots, creating this 1 million square mile patch where our planet's gravitational pull is actually measurably weaker. Ultimately, finding things like dark oxygen and extreme life forms here on Earth suggests something huge. It means we might easily find life on other planets or hiding right now beneath the frozen oceans of distant moons. These discoveries are completely reshaping our understanding.
So, what other world-altering secrets are waiting out there in the remaining 80% of the darkness? If the mapped part of the abyss holds ancient computers and alien biology, the history-changing relics still hiding down there are unimaginable. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and remember to always keep looking deeper.